It's Friday afternoon, at least on the East Coast in Australia. And you can tell it's Friday because I'm not wearing a tie. And for those who know me, I'm practically naked as far as I'm concerned. So I'm feeling a little bit unsure about not wearing a tie today. Hi there. My name is Mark Smith. I'm Group Managing Director of People2People in Australia and the UK and Frog Recruitment in New Zealand. And it is Friday afternoon, so it's time for P2P Live, where we talk all things employment and jobs throughout Australia. We've got a jam-packed broadcast for you today. We've got the stat of the week. Of course, the unemployment numbers came out this week, so we'll take a closer look at that. We've got two jobs, a finance officer and an admin officer here in Australia that we'll explore. We've also got some opportunities in the UK and in New Zealand across the ditch if you are a working holiday maker or you're looking to expand or your horizons away from the continent. And we'll be exploring also what clients have been saying about getting people back into the office with Mihi from our Sydney team. She's had a lot of conversations about this recently, so we'll be chatting to her about that. And finally, we've got the Twitter poll results from last week. So a lot to get through. Let's have a look at this week's Stat of the Week. Okay, it was pretty hard to miss the unemployment results that were released in Australia this week by the Bureau of Statistics. So what you've actually got on the screen here at the moment is the unemployment rate. You've got the trend line, which is sitting at about 3.6, but seasonally adjusted, the unemployment rate in Australia went up to 3.7% last week. The results actually came out yesterday. So these are for the month of April. It was a little bit of a surprise. I think that many pundits were saying that the unemployment rate would remain relatively steady during the month of April, but that little tick up was of interest. Here are some other statistics just to get your head around here to understand these numbers. So the number of employed people actually went down by 4,300 from the month of March to April, but yearly it's up 390,000 people. I thought that was an interesting statistic because we're just bringing in 400,000 people into Australia this year. So I thought that was interesting. Unemployment or unemployed people increased by 18,000. The unemployment rate, seasonally adjusted, from 3.5 to 3.7%. Underemployment pretty much steady. Participation rate 66.7. So basically 2/3 of the population are participating. And monthly jobs, hours worked, I should say, were up 49 million and up 7.4% on last year. Are you working 7.4% harder this year than last year? I think that's a really interesting number there. So we can see your comments, and I can see that on YouTube, Manda says, is this your experience, Mark? Well, yeah, I think I have been working a little bit harder. So thanks for your comment there, Manda. And we can see your comments on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube throughout the broadcast. So if you have any questions, then let us know. That's this week's Stat of the Week. Couple of hot jobs in Australia this week. The first one, South Australia. It's in Adelaide, actually. It's an admin assistant role. It's a temp job. It's paying $25 an hour, where you'll be reviewing suspicious matter reports. So it's pretty clear it's in a law firm. Recording SEMLs on the CRM system. You need to have strong administration and communication skills and ideally come from an AML background. If you don't know what AML means, you're probably not right for this job. But if you do have that, give Emma a call in Adelaide, 08 8317 4804. That's 08 8317 4804. Or just simply hit apply now in the comments on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube right now. Okay, here's the next one. It's a finance officer's role. This one's in Queensland. It's paying 70 to 75,000. Christina's the consultant you need to chat to. It's a permanent position where you're responsible for billing, receipting, allocating payments, debtor ledger management, matching, batching, and coding of invoices, and assisting with month-end reporting. You need to have experience in a similar role as a finance officer, ideally within a large corporate that'll get you there. And of course, be a team player. 07 3118 0125 is Christina's number. You can give her a bell. Just email her there as well, christina.radden@people2people.com.au. Of course, you can hit apply now in the job link that's in the comments. So there's Australia's 2 hot jobs this week. Okay, here's our first job. Have you ever considered going on a working holiday to the UK? I did it when I was 27. Loved it. Have you ever thought about doing it? With the new free trade agreement being initiated on the 31st of May, the rules are changing. It's a good time to be heading across to the UK, and we've got a job for you. It's actually a contract, this one. It's a social media manager. Although there's a salary there, it's a fixed term contract, so it could fit in perfectly. You just need to give Hannah Scanlon a call in our London team, or drop her a note, hannah.scanlon@people2people.co.uk. Of course, you can hit apply now. You'll be responsible for developing the social media strategies. You'll be managing social media accounts on multiple platforms, liaising with copywriters as well. You must have experience with it as in this role previously, and a strong knowledge of SEO and related metrics will really make you stand out on this particular opportunity. So check it out. Hit apply now. We also have another job which is across the ditch in New Zealand with our sister company Frog Recruitment. I think we've got a video on that one.
Guys, we're working with a healthcare company that's looking for some after-hours rostering coordinators to join their team for the next 3 months. Now, this role is one that has a little bit of shift work, so the hours are from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. or 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. So if you're a bit of an early bird or a night owl, this might be the role for you. It does involve a lot of scheduling and rostering of support workers and care staff across a range of facilities, as well as managing any complaints that come through and coaching coordinators and managers on systems when needed. You will have to put your foot down at times, so if you do have that ability to push back, that would be great as well. And some administration and scheduling experience would be good as well. It is based in the CBD and paying about $28 an hour plus 8% holiday pay. It's a 40 hours a week role, and starting as soon as possible. So if you feel like this is a role for you, please get in touch below.
Right, so getting people back into the office is a hot topic at the moment, and there's been a lot of conversations between our consultants and our clients about this. And so I thought I'd have a chat to Mihi from the permanent accounting team in Sydney. And ironically, Mihi's working from home today. So, which I thought, what? Hang on, aren't we talking about getting people back to the office? So Mihi, you've been having a lot of conversations about this. What have our clients been saying?
Well, absolutely. So a lot of the large companies I've been talking to are actually forcing their people back into the office, embroiling them with media backlash and pushback from employees. So the truth is that you can invite your people to return to the office, but if you feel you must force people to come back, it might be time to examine your workplace experience. So in this year's People to People and Frog Recruitment Employment and Salary Report, it was actually revealed that 73% of employees and 78% of business leaders mentioned they need a better reason to go into the office than their employers' expectation. So, in addition to that, 85% of employees would be more satisfied to work from the office if they knew they would socialize with their coworkers through collaborative activities and meetings while in the office. So, if you want to bring back people into your office, here's 4 points for you to think about. So, one, it would be develop a clear vision of the experience of work you want to create, because without it, you'll end up with an expensive training program that is enjoyable but doesn't create the culture required. Everything else flows from there. Two, do the work required to make the change happen. You can hand over culture to HR, but it will only be sustainable if you, as a leader, do the necessary work.
Can't agree
Three,
more than on that one. It is the entire leadership team. You can't flick past it to HR to look after, for sure. Sorry, I
yeah.
interrupted you there, Mimi. My apologies.
No, I mean you're setting up a good example for us, at People to People. So it is true you can take so much on HR, but you have to lead by example as well. Um, the third point will be to select the right support to help you achieve your aims. So a cultural specialist understands how groups work together and why change happen or doesn't. Four, it will be actually to ask your people what they need, because far too few managers ask their people what would make them want to be in the office, concerned about not being able to deliver. So your employees will actually appreciate you care enough to ask.
Yeah, 100%. Communicate, communicate, communicate. So rather than I shouldn't say this, but watching this to find out what I need to do to get people into the office, how about you ask your team, because they'll tell you. And I think it's really interesting at the moment. I think we've fallen on a hybrid model, although there's a lot of chatter with hiring managers at the moment about, well, how do I manage people? Both on a negative perspective where they might need to manage underperformance, but also to give the feeling to reward people who are actually doing well and give them that proverbial and actual pat on the back for doing a good job. Can't do that when you're remote. It's much easier if you're in person. Sorry, I'm gibbering on here, Mihi. That's not an unusual thing for me. But thank you again for joining us. If somebody wanted to have a chat to you, maybe about the Sydney accounting market, or they wanted to learn more about what our clients are saying about getting people to the office, how would they get in touch with you?
Either via phone, I'm contactable by 0282709711, or by email. So my name is Mihilia at people2people.com.au.
Okay, no worries. Fantastic. Thank you for joining us on P2P Live. I think that's your first time, isn't it?
It is, Mark. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, won't be your last. I know after today, you will get you back again. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's move on now to the results of last week's Twitter poll. So this was interesting, because we ran the same poll in Australia and in the UK, and we got some different results. So we asked, for those who moved from a temporary role into a full-time permanent job over the last year, why did you do it? And in Australia, 42.7% said more job security. That number was less in the UK. It was started with a 3. I think it was about 37, 38%. So it's still a high number. But what it says is that people are more concerned about job security in Australia than in the UK, which I thought was interesting. And another one that really blew me away was that 27.2% said better remuneration. So you get better pay if you're working in a full-time job rather than a temp job. I've got to say that is not our experience. Those who are contracting and working as a temp tend to get a higher hourly rate. Now, you do have to trade off some of the other benefits there, like leave, but you do tend to get a higher hourly rate. But that is not what the Twitterverse and LinkedIn believes, because 27% said they took the permanent job for better remuneration. Career progression, 18%, other 11%. You can see those comments all on our Twitter account at People to People, or on LinkedIn. So check those out. Here's this week's question. And we said, what are your preferred working arrangements in 2023? Do you want to be full-time in the office? I've already voted. I said yes. Or is it a hybrid working environment, as we had with Mihi today? Or is it full-time working from home? I'd be interested in your thoughts at People to People on LinkedIn and on Twitter, and we'll share the results next week. Look like a look of surprise on my face there. That was Jacob behind the scenes, bringing us back to my face far too early. I'll have to. I would normally buy him a beer at Mount Wellington Pub. That's where he drinks on a Friday night if you are in Auckland. But I'm not going to now after he did that to me. That's it, everybody. We'll see. We'll do this all again next week, 12:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time for P2P Live. We'll see you then.